Hello, Richard the Dick Coughlin 616. How are you? I realise I'm a bit late coming to the party on this particular issue, but time constraints have forced my hand, so tough shit. A couple of weeks ago, Andrew Breitbart died at the age of 43 of what was called natural causes. I personally didn't know that being high on crack cocaine and bumming a 14-year-old Nigerian rent boy classified as natural causes, but there you go. But the death of Andrew Breitbart does prove two things. One, that it's not only the good that die young, and two, it is possible to die of shame. Now, I can already hear the pious moral indignation of wannabe internet Gandhis battering away at their keyboards, about ready to have a go at me because I've just mocked the dead and I should show them more respect. Why? Since when did being dead absolve someone of criticism of being a cunt? And I didn't hear the same sort of level of moral indignation a couple of weeks ago when Kim Jong-il died. Oh no, when he popped his high-heeled clogs, that was okay, because he was a proper bastard, whereas Breitbart's bastardry was mediocre at best. That might well be true, but I think that's more to do with Breitbart's failings as a human being, rather than him trying to get the power, or at least wanting it. Plus, I do realise that back in November, I made a video calling out certain people who were exploiting the death of Christopher Hitchens or attacking him shortly after he died. And you might be wondering, well, why am I doing the same thing now? Well, there's a kind of difference here. My video about Christopher Hitchens was not so much saying you shouldn't say things about him now he's dead. The point of my video was to say that you shouldn't really expect a rational or reasonable response to anything you say just after the guy has died. And to be fair, I don't expect a rational or reasonable response from Andrew Breitbart's fans at the best of times, so I don't see why it makes any difference doing it now. And quite frankly, none of his family or friends are going to watch this bloody video, so we don't really care about bothering or hurting their feelings either. This video really isn't about Andrew Breitbart as a person, because anyone with any common sense or decency knows he was a dishonest, racist, right-wing propagandist arsehole. So let's move on from there. This video is about the laughable conspiracy theories currently floating around the internet saying that Andrew Breitbart was actually killed at the order of President Imam Barack Hitler Stalin Hussein Obama Bin Laden III. Why? Because before Breitbart died, he gave a speech at CPAC in which he said he had a video of Obama in his college days which linked him to some pretty dodgy characters. That's it. That is what Breitbart claimed in his CPAC speech. And that is the reason many people believe that he was murdered by the orders of President O'Blackman. Really? Seriously? No, really? Seriously. I realise that isn't actually a response to that claim in any way, but I think sometimes some claims are so stupid they just need to stand on their own and be laughed at, you know, mockingly, just for what they are. You don't need to respond or refute them, do you? So the President of the United States of America ordered the assassination of a borderline irrelevant internet hack because he claimed he had a video exposing his shady past? Really? Seriously? Now, there are hundreds of websites putting this idea about, but the first one I came across was that cyber mecca for the politically insane and terminally paranoid WorldNet Daily. The article was written by Michael Savage, who comes from the same cookie-cutter, crypto-fascist Nazi wannabe school of the likes of Bill O'Reilly and Coulter Rush Limbaugh. In short, he's a total cuntbag of an arse of a twat of a worthless pile of shit of a human being. If you type Obama killed Breitbart into Google, you get 98,000 hits. Now, I don't want this video to be mistaken as some hearty defence of Barack Obama. There are many things that he has done that I'm not happy with. He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy, and I don't wish to perform analingus on his African-American derriere. But what the absolute fuck has gone wrong in people's heads when they consider this to be reality? Now, the tape that Breitbart was referring to, which apparently got him killed but somehow it managed to get into the hands of Fox News, was shown on Sean Hannity's show. Did it show Barack Obama reenacting a Serbian film with his wife and children? No. Was Obama going around skewering infants with cancer with a pitchfork only to start eating them? No. Was he sitting there snorting cocaine off the butt crack of a dead hooker whilst laughing and joking with the ghosts of the 9/11 hijackers? No. In fact, what the video shows is Barack Obama giving a hug, yes, a fucking hug, to a liberal professor from Harvard University. Not just any liberal professor. Oh no, a liberal professor that nobody has ever fucking heard of. Now, the idea that Breitbart would be assassinated over this might have one minuscule, microscopic, tiny, diminutive, fucking nano-millionth of a percent of being true if it wasn't for the fact that this was possibly the 100 millionth time that somebody has exposed Barack Obama's shady past. This isn't the first time some lithium-deficient fucking loony has come out and exposed Barack Obama. He's been exposed more times than Bill Clinton's genitals were exposed to fat interns. The people who are currently claiming that Breitbart was killed by Obama really need to explain something this to my slow liberal brain. Wasn't Barack Obama exposed as the illegitimate president from Kenya? Because that's what the fucktards at World Net Daily have been claiming for years. Or even the woman who started the conspiracy in the first place, Orly Tate. None of them have been found mysteriously dead. Why? Didn't countless conspiracy theorists expose Barack Obama's birth certificate as a fake and a forgery, including Donald Trump? And yet I didn't see any news report where Donald Trump was found dead, having choked to death on his own stupidly retarded triple comb-over hair. And what about Pamela Geller? She exposed Barack Obama on countless occasions. She exposed him as the bastard son of Malcolm X, a claim that was so ridiculous that even World Net Daily debunked it themselves. She exposed him for banging a crack whore in his youth. She exposed his mother as being in pornography and his dad as being a communist child molester. She also claims he took a trip to Pakistan to get drugs and jihad. And yet somehow President Obama has decided to let Pamela Geller live. Why is that? And let's not forget the mainstream media exposing Barack Obama for having connections with, well-known terrorist billionaires, and yet none of them were found mysteriously dead, having killed themselves by stabbing themselves in the brain 27 times. Why is that? The mainstream media exposed his relationship with Jeremiah Wright, and after Barack Obama denounced some of Reverend Wright's rantings, Reverend Wright came out and claimed that Barack Obama had thrown him under the bus. Well, look on the bright side, Reverend Wright, he didn't make you sit at the back of it, did he? Add to that all the other times he was exposed for having 39 social security numbers, for being a secret Muslim and a cocaine dealer in college, for not going to college, for not graduating college, for being the next Hitler and starting World War III, and you should come to the conclusion that this man has been well and truly exposed countless times by everybody, right? There is literally nothing left on earth that you could accuse this man of being, doing or saying in any way whatsoever. And yet, not one of the people who exposed him for all the things that I've just mentioned has been found dead. Why? The answer to that question is one of two things. Either A, Breitbart was murdered because of that thing exposing him, but all the other exposings are complete bollocks, because they must be. Or B, Breitbart's exposing was just as much a pile of bollocks as all the others, and he just so happened to keel over and die just before we showed the video. Of course, there is the third option that Breitbart was killed over this tape, but why was he killed for showing a video of him hugging a professor, but nobody was killed for exposing him as a secret Muslim Kenyan son of a pornographer and a paedophile with a penchant for killing Jews and fucking crack whores? The sad thing is that people who believe this kind of shit are going to watch this video, and the only thing they're going to focus on are the comments and the jokes I made at Breitbart's expense at the start of this video. The reality of the fact is the people who are the most disrespectful to Andrew Breitbart's death and his legacy and his family's feelings are the people peddling all this bullshit right now. People who are using this man's death as fodder for their irrational, insane conspiracy theories and ideologies, just because they don't like President Barack Hussein Obama. And I would like to say that this isn't what Andrew Breitbart would have wanted, but then that would be a bigger lie than anything Andrew Breitbart ever said. That's all from me, Richard the Dick Coughlin 616. Good night, may God bless.